things to go over. This did the 5 idle heat cycles. This got some more parts in for it. However, it's got to go on the back burner. Here we have a China saw, which some of you guys watch. Oil pump quit for the 2nd time, so I'm kind of just fed up with that one. I have other ones to fuck with. And but that's not what this video is about, because we got to get the DRZ on the stand and rip it apart. Since early fall, I was having issues with this bike. It all started when I noticed there was no antifreeze in it one day. I heard it bubbling and puking and bull. And so I topped it off. And I was kind of curious why that happened. I was Googling a little bit and found out that since my reservoir tank is cracked, it may not be recovering it. So if it did puke it, it wouldn't suck it back in. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're down to a low level. I taped up my tank. I filled it up. I fired it up. And it still ran great. And then it kept getting harder and harder to start. And it's been cold and rainy, so I haven't really rode it much. So I also suspected that the head gasket was blown. So I took the whole top end, I took the valve cover off. I had this all off, valve cover off, and the cams out, and checked my head bolt torque, which I guess is technically your cylinder torque too. And it was all good. So I thought, it had to just be that. I'll put it back together. And now it's drained. But I actually shot a whole nother video that I didn't upload or do anything with, where I did all that. But I noticed when the cap's off, it's just constantly bubbling a little bit. And on top of that, for this month span of me pissing with it a little bit, it was getting harder to start. It would take, this bike, DRZ will fire, right up in a couple cranks. And this one always did good, and it was jetted fine. And I noticed it would take me sometimes until I killed the battery and start pop, 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 and just hold it wide open and blow, like it's blown up, sort of. But when it did run, and I'd take it around the block, it still ran really good. So now I'm just at the point where I'm going to tear it apart. I'm betting it's a head gasket. So that's why we got to rip her down. But before I rip her down, you know that to even do a spark plug on these, you gotta have the tank and everything off. I'm going to see the condition of that plug, because I swear to Christ, if that's from this tiny, I forgot to mention, there was a tiny hole in this rad hose. Like a pinhole, it seeps. So I was like, there's my air. But, oh, there's the cat. But I'm going to see the condition of the plug. And I swear to you, if it's a little rad hose and a spark plug, I will be ecstatic. But I don't think that's what it is. But we will check that once we get the seat and everything off. How about it, Bob?
Okay, so that's what I'm working with. Oh, focus, you piece of shit. It doesn't look, I don't understand, it's kind of carboned up. It's because I run av gas. It's not a nice plug, but it doesn't look like a fouled plug. Maybe there's antifreeze burning on it for all I know. I don't know.
This up, but look at the dull orange spark here with this old plug. It's not ridiculous, but okay, so here we have a new plug. And look at the color difference. It's a nice blue color. So that old plug is bad, but is it because it's soaked in antifreeze? Out in the garage again. It's the next day. We're here with the DRZ, which, as I just said, is screwed up somehow. So we're getting it tore apart. Subframe loose, carb out, some hoses off, muffler off. Got to get this header off. But we're getting there, and I'll keep you updated here. Okay, I'm thinking definitely blown head gasket. Take a look in here. What the fuck is this stuff? And I go like this. I'm like, oh, freeze. Freeze of the anti with carbon. This fucker is screwed up. Oh, get in there, camera. Let's see what's going on. Sign number 2. Could be condensation, but probably antifreeze in the freaking oil. What I'm doing is lining this up the top dead center, so when I take it off, you know, it's at the top and doesn't all down in my cylinder and stuff. Okay, just wanted to show you that. Well, I don't see any immediate signs of this being blown, but oh wait, right there, boom. Look at that. I'm a blown head gasket. I mean, look at this freaking piston. Ugh. So on the head you could see there's a piece of gasket there. It looks like something might have happened right here. Might be where it's blown by. But yeah, hopefully surface this, because I don't see it. I didn't dye it, but I don't see where it's like too destroyed. And a new gasket, clean that up, surface it, torque it a little higher. Something I saw in Thumper Talk was it should actually be torqued to like 43 foot-pounds instead of 34 like the service manual says, especially when you're running high compression piston and big bore. Yeah, so. Definitely here. I pulled this off. Both sides right here are compromised. You can even see here looks like some combustion burn there, and that's probably where my issue was. So it wolfed its cookies. Slightly salvageable. Like I said, this is no big deal. It should be all right.